Welcome to Lesson 115 of Saxon Math Course 2. In this lesson we're going to talk about monomials and polynomials, and we're going to find the greatest common factor of the terms of a polynomial. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, you'll remember that we've talked about both of these before, but mostly we've worked with monomials, and that's just when there's just one term. In this case here, the x squared y to the 3 is the single. There's nothing else being added or subtracted to that. It's just a single term expression. Same thing here and here. But what we're really going to work on is polynomials, and this is a polynomial, this is a polynomial, and this is a polynomial. Now they classify polynomials even more so when they have two terms. They're called binomials. So this is called a binomial, and when they have three terms, they're called trinomials. So you recall that when we take a monomial and we factor it out, we do like our factor trees. You remember this. 6 factored out is 2. 6 factored out is 2 times 3, and x squared is x times x, and y cubed is y times y times y. You know how to do that. By knowing how to do that, it's going to help us factor out our polynomials. So let's practice it first before we do that. So when we try to factor out a binomial or a trinomial, we have to first find the greatest common factor, not only of the 3 and the 6 in this case, but also the x squared and the y. So if we write them right here, we've got it written right here, and we look at both those and we say, what can we pull out of both of those? Well, we can pull a 3 out of both of those, can't we? And there's also an x in each one of those, so we pull out an x, and they both have a y, so we pull out a y out of each one of those. So once we pull, so we know we can pull out a 3xy. So now we can go down here and we can rewrite our binomial, 3x squared y plus, and then divide it by the same 3xy. And we're going to divide both. We're going to divide it here, and we're going to divide it here. So when we do that, 3 divided by 3 is 1. X squared minus x is just x, and y minus y is that cancels out. So it just leaves us an x on that side. And here the 3 goes into 6 2 times, and the x's cancel out, and the y squared minus y is y. So we end up with x plus 2y left over when we factor out 3xy. So you're going to write 3xy, and you're going to, using the distributive property, you're going to put in the x plus the 2y. That's going to be your answer when factoring out. So you take this binomial and you factor it out, you get this answer here. Now if we were to use the distributive property and multiply these back in again, guess what our answer is going to be? It's going to be 3x squared y plus 6xy squared. Get the idea? All right, let's try it. Okay, so just this to start with the basic, the monomial, and factor it out. We know that 12 factors out. If we make our little factor tree, we got a 4 and we have a 3. So we have 2 times 3, and our a squared is 2a's, a times a. Our b cubed is b times b times b, and our c is just a c. So that's it, you're done. That's your answer. Right? And I think you all know how to do that. Okay, but using that's what we're going to use to help us do these trinomials and binomials. So let's go ahead and factor out this trinomial. So let's go ahead and look at this problem up here and say, what can we pull out of each one of these? What comes out of each one of those? Well, out of a 6, a 4, and a 2, what can we pull out? Well, we can pull out a 2, right? Pull out a 2 out of each one of those. How about, does each one of those expressions have an a in it? They do. Do they all have 2 a's or just 1 a? They all have just 1 a, so we can only pull out 1 a. And then do they all have a b? They all have a single b. Do they have a b squared? They don't, so only a single b. So we can pull out a 2ab out of each one of these. Now once we know we can do that, this is going to be our final answer down here, 2ab. And then we're going to have our answers down here. We got something plus something, right? Plus something. Okay, so now we're going to go up here and we're going to put in our 2ab because we're going to factor that out of each one of these. 2ab out of each one of these, all right? Okay, let's do that. 2 goes into 6 3 times. A squared minus a1 is a, and the b1 minus b1 is 0. So they cancel out. The next one, 2 goes into 4 2 times, and our a's cancel out, and b squared minus b1 is a b. And then here we've got 2 divided by 2 is a 1, and our a's cancel and our b's cancel. So our answer is going to be 2ab factored out of 3a plus 2b plus 1. And if we were to multiply these back out again, it would take us right back to this problem right here. All right, so we're factoring it out. So the greatest common factor of that trinomial is 2ab. When we factor it out, that's what is left. All right, I hope that makes some sense. Let's see if you can do it. Go ahead and do C. It's monomial. It should be pretty easy. That one you can do pretty quickly. Pause the video and write down your answer. All right, so on C, you've got 18, and we factor that out. We've got a 3, and we have a 6. So we have a 2, a 3, and a 3. And then we have x, 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 and then we have a y and a y. You should have gotten that for C. That's pretty easy. I think you knew how to do that one. How about E? Were you able to do E? Go ahead and pause it and do it now. All right, I can see, looking at these two here, that I can pull out a 4 out of each one of those. And I can also pull out an x and a y. So I put a 4xy under that one and a 4xy under that one. I can see automatically that's going to turn into a 1. And oops, minus, not a plus, it's a minus 1. And then it's going to be 2y. So 4xy, 2y plus 1. 4xy, 2y, oh, minus 1. Remember, I said it was a minus. You got to make sure you get things. See, I did that, and then I said it wrong, didn't I? All right, that's it. You're factoring them out. You're starting to get into some little bit higher algebra. Just getting a taste of what you're going to experience next year. All right, there's your TIDs. Send them to me tonight electronically. We will answer your questions tomorrow in class. We will work on the written practice together. All right, see you tomorrow.